Welcome to A Voice of Reason in Turbulent Times with Pastor Charles Burnett-Morrow. A powerful, practical, prophetic, and progressive commentary about what is happening in our world today.
Constitutional republics can only function properly when you have men and women of goodwill controlling the levers of power. The minute one district in one state elects an individual who is not going into their office with a mindset of goodwill, in other words, they're not going in to cooperate. They're not going in to work with their body as a team, as it were. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid in gym, our teacher would often go down the line of all the boys and he'd say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then one would split off and be one team. The twos would split off and be another team. You were all still students in the same school, but now you were on different teams. So you were playing for different objectives, okay? Within our government, the party system allows for there to be two teams, okay? One team is representing or supposed to be representing a more responsible, conservative fiscal policy, what have you. The other team is supposed to be representing a more liberal, a more giving, a more compassionate, a more charitable position in terms of what they believe government to be able to do for the people that are served, we the people. Nowhere within the Constitution is it provided for that either party should dictate the morality or the behavior of the other. No, we start out with the premise that all men are created equal and we have the right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, live your life as you desire to live your life. Liberty, have the freedom to do as you wish to do. The pursuit of happiness, to find your happiness however and wherever you find your happiness. This notion of trying to legislate morality and legislate behavior is something that entered into our government, into our parties, into our system fairly early, and it became much greater a problem as we approached the 1980s, the rise of the moral majority headed up by Jerry Falwell, and the rise of the religious right trying to wield power in our nation. You know, all of a sudden it was, we have the right, we have the liberty to worship God. We have the right to believe as we choose to believe. We have the right to preach what we believe to be true. Bless God. Hallelujah. We have the right to assembly and to come together as Christians and as Muslims and as Jews and Hindus and to build houses of worship and to conduct ministry. We have that right. But those people over there do not have the right to live their life this way or that way. They do not have the right to do this or to do that. So the viewpoint becomes very skewed. All of a sudden, you're imbued with all these rights and liberties. You're able to pursue happiness in the manner that you desire to pursue happiness. However, these over here, no, they don't have that right. They don't have that liberty, and they cannot pursue their happiness in the manner that they choose. And so, what we begin to see with Newt Gingrich and the rise of the hyper-Republicans in government, Newt Gingrich was one of the first folks who began to demonize the Democratic Party, to demonize Democrats. He is the one, and of course Fox News was right on his heels in formation. And so now the Republican Party was able to use social issues as a means of placing a wedge between us and them, placing a wedge between the left and the right, the Democrat and the Republican. And Hitler said that there is nothing more powerful than religious belief. He said, you cannot argue reason and expect to get the same amount of passion as you will get if you utilize religious beliefs. Once you start claiming to be the party that represents a certain field of religious belief, all of a sudden, all the people who believe that way become very passionate, very supportive. Boy, they're going to get behind you.
A voice of reason in turbulent times with Pastor Charles Burnett-Morrow, speaking truth at a time when truth is in short supply.